G'day. Many of you will be aware by now that the National Socialist Network did their nth stunt involving them standing in a row in black bloc holding a shocking banner for a photo shoot. This time, they stood outside Northland shopping centre holding up a banner with reference to the recent fight and machete attack that occurred there and the subsequent Victorian state government machete sale ban. I won't say what the banner says. I'm not sharing that shit for them. I was initially pleased to see a somewhat reduced rate of Australian mainstream media coverage of this latest photo opportunity of theirs. After all, the coverage of them is always as boilerplate and opportunistic as the stunts themselves are, and it always involves ring-in quotes from anti-democratic politicians and Zionist lobbyists demanding more criminalisation of free expression in this country to deal with this gaggle of fuckheads, which, as we should all be aware by now, ultimately gets turned on real activists who care about real and important things as well as these maggots. But none of that counted for much, because then everyone took it upon themselves to rage share the uncensored banner anyway. Since then, there's been some online debate about the merits of sharing really racist stuff around as a result. I saw various rationales posted for it that ranged from utterly see-through clout goblin bullshit right through to reasonable and well-intentioned ones. And there's no need for me to address them all specifically because I'm not here for a fight. All I want to do is let you know what the NSN are doing here in their own words. A few years ago, their internal recruitment and activity manual for activism got leaked. This is ancient news to people like me by now, perhaps not so much for some of you. Here's what it has to say about stunts and promotion. Media baiting is a huge portion of our recruitment drive. There are currently hundreds of minor nationalist groups in Australia, but none of them ever amount to anything without media attention. Even if the articles are mostly negative, readers of the article are not the target audience. We are trying to win over youth who are already sympathetic to the cause and are seeking an outlet for their views. The young will want to join something that seems new, aggressive and shocking. The manual continues a little later on. Because articles drive recruitment, a good way to promote the group is to bait the media. All you seek to do is to accelerate their production of news articles. The basic process is to first make a fake account or email, then send a piece of activism that has been publicly published to various media outlets. Then if they write an article, share that article and leave pro-organisation comments on it. And in fact, because I've been around the traps for a long time and I've seen all this kind of thing before many times, I have little doubt that the earliest big lefty accounts who were sharing uncensored NSN banner material were likely sent that material by NSN members pretending to be concerned members of the public. So there you have it anyway. You needn't argue with each other about who or what it benefits, or me for that matter. It does benefit the NSN, according to the NSN. Their priorities are as follows. Recruiting new activist members is one. They're the people in all black who do the regular combat training and public stunts like the ones you've seen, of which they now have several hundred nationwide. And new supporters. These are people who don't show up IRL but who contribute to them financially, of which they say they have now thousands nationwide. Every time a media circus happens, and I don't just mean a legacy media circus, I also mean a social media one, they get new supporters and new members. But their other urgent priority is getting 1,500 signatures to launch a political party called the White Australia Party, which they have every intention of doing as soon as possible. So put simply, when you share their unadorned, uncensored material, you're helping them get there sooner. Think about that. I always notice a lot of people on the left asking why the police don't police these people as hard as they police us. The activist left, pro-Palestinian activists, climate activists, whoever. Also a very boilerplate response from the left at this stage. On one level, it's just ignorant of what really goes down for the people in the NSN, which I understand. You're not expected to follow these parasites all day. Actually, they get repressed by the police really, really hard. This is what all those authoritarian and anti-democratic, anti-freedom of expression laws we all let get introduced did. It made it hell not just for our mates, but also for the NSN, believe you me. They get raided non-stop, they get non-association orders, they get debanked, they get the book thrown at them. They get infiltrated by spooks constantly. So yeah, I think they do get policed pretty hard. They're just really, really dedicated to militant neo-Nazism. Those are the facts, like it or not. Also, this reflexive complaint about the equity or the integrity of the cops is frankly fucking pointless. Australian police officers murder disabled Indigenous men in need of help for daring to walk around Coles. They kill bulk vulnerable people in custody. That is your police force. I don't know why you're taking these opportunities to demand that they strike a harmonious policing balance. I think you're looking to the wrong guys, frankly. But for all that, I want to acknowledge that it's kind of hard to know what the fuck else to say at these junctures. Because if not the cops and spooks, then who the hell else can do anything about these stunts? After all, it's not like you or I or anyone for that matter can do much else about them. The main reason for that is that you never see these people. Back to their manual. It says, only when our numbers dwarf the anti-fascist protesters will we use organised demonstrations. The only demonstrations at present that we will organise are flash demonstrations. These are based on speed, agility and subterfuge. We will go somewhere public in masks, excluding the speaker, and demonstrate. There will be no demonstration with less than 20 activists. A banner should be brought so that our group and message is advertised in any picture of the demonstration. All the NSN want is a photo and a video for promotional purposes by way of the media. They don't want to fight, they don't want to get arrested, they just want the headlines and the video for Telegram. After much practice, they've settled on this formula. They don't do their stunts for any longer than 5 to 10 minutes. We're talking packing down, chants, mini speech, packing up and booting off, all in record time. It's a flash mob. One reason I can strategically empathise with that is preferring not to get bogged down by cops and arrests. Of course that makes sense for any activists, whether you're a good one or a fucking maggot. The other reason is that the NSN are desperate to avoid anything that makes them look optically weak as piss. This has happened to them a few times. It's made them very gun shy.
Weak dog incel cunts! Weak dog incel cunts! Weak dog incel cunts! Weak fucking incel dogs!
But chiefly, I suppose, I'm thinking of a spot that's only 10 minutes drive down the road from Northland shopping centre, Cafe Gummo. That's where they really learned a lesson about getting too cheeky.
To other news now, a wild brawl between left and right-wing extremist groups has erupted on a main street in Melbourne's northeast.
God bless them, some of them call it the Battle of Thornbury these days. Go look it up. I've done a whole video about this in its own right. Please go and check that out. I'll put the link in the description for this one. Today, however, I've got something a bit different. I've got exclusive footage of it that none of you have seen before from that night. It's camera footage from the front of Cafe Gummo from that night. The disgruntled former Gummo owner who shared them with me provided the following statement. I decided to share these nature videos in the public interest, thinking it might be of particular use to anyone studying behavioural anxiety in rodent species. Should anyone take issue with the animal footage shared, please be aware I no longer run the bar featured in these videos, as we became extremely rich from facilitating leftist infighting and have since retired to a private island in the Mediterranean. Should anyone have any questions and would like to contact us, you can't. Let's take a look at this footage and see if we can pay attention in particular to the clock, because I suspect that for all their speedy flash mobs, this is in fact the NSN's world record attempt for the quickest flash mob by a neo-Nazi group ever. Set the timer and go! Evening at Cafe Gummo, it's an anti-fascist fundraiser. Oh, what's that out the front? We've got 10 NSN members, cameras, banners, the whole shebang. They're going to do some signals out the front. No one's going to do shit. You know what these lefties are like. You know what they're all... Wait, hang on. What are you doing? Hey, hang on a sec. Hey, get footage of him. Hey, don't push me. Ah, he's kicking me. He's hurting me. Go, run. Get away. Look at that time. That is a really zippy flash mob, that one. Congratulations to NSN on winning the Usain Bolt Award for nationalist activism. So you take my point. They don't ever want to have that happen again. Which leads me to the most hilarious part of this NSN stunt yet. So, they shared their pics and they fronted like they'd rocked up in the evening to Northland in front of crowds to do this shit. You know, that's your first assumption when you see them standing in a row with their banner. And that would be a genuinely staunch / death wish thing to do. That's what you think when you see this kind of material. And it is demoralising for people to see. It optically makes the people doing it look tough. They know it. They're very optics savvy. The problem for them here is that after they release their media, in response, the shopping centre released its CCTV footage and confirmed the time that this stunt happened. It happened at 3:30 a.m. 3:30 a.m.
The Wiitching Hour, the time when ghosts and paranormal events are said to be at their most powerful. While you can technically see a ghost at any time of day, folklore tells us that between 3 and 4 a.m. is when spirits are most active.
I've obviously made my case by now for why I think that when you see these stunts, you shouldn't be sharing them for the NSN Uncensored, as they say you should do in their handbook. Some better questions I think you should be asking at times like this is, how many minutes did this one last? Did you rehearse? Did you record it all twice for the camera, or does that take a bit too long for your tastes? Are you conducting your activism in the real world or in the spectral plane? Do you have any tips for waking up earlier for me? What do the stars look like in the very quietest moment of the depths of the night? I imagine they're beautiful. Do you see any ghosts up at that time? Do you get those $2 coffees from 7-Eleven on your way into those stunts? Because I don't think any of the other cafes are open at that time, right? Do your face masks also help to keep your faces warm at 3:30 in the morning in the winter? Do you all go back to 7-Eleven for like a brekkie feed after the stunt is over? After all, it's not like the cafes would have opened yet even then, because by then it's still only 3:35 a.m. You get the picture. I reckon all your lefty followers already reckon that racism is alive and well. Just like you do. Just like I do. But the above mentioned stuff is not enabling for a fascist group like the rage bait stuff is. One way or another, let's just try not to actively help them win, yeah? Wrap up, I want to quote a piece or two from a statement by Northern Suburbs Sharps. These are people who've actually, unlike most of us, stared these maggots down. So their statements are worth listening to. Race is being used as a scapegoat to distract from the systemic oppression of the colony, and the all-black-clad flash mob outside Northland are puppets, making the corporate class more money by doing their bidding. We've made them run. We'll always defend our area from the scum. They're not working-class heroes. They won't save you. They'll rob you blind as they do their own cult following. Demonstrated fraudsters with their own members defrauding tens of thousands from their donors. Incidentally, you can find out more about what they mean there by looking at my old video, Brown Greek White Nazi. It's a doozy. They come to our area after 3 a.m. when transport isn't running and all shops are long closed for minutes before scattering like rats. Their track record with knives speaks for itself. All of us should be more proactive and less reactive. Talk to and work with each other. The volunteer fascists are mobilising to enact the will of the state onto us through violence and repression. Now is not the time to let them sow seeds of division. We need to unite against a common threat in spite of personal or minor ideological differences. Don't do the work of the state for them. Fight back. Fight together. Solidarity to them, solidarity to everyone in the city of Darebin. I've been unsettled by seeing some of this footage get bandied about so carelessly all over social media and on legacy media. I want to say, trust me, you have way more neighbours than you might know who are willing to belt the piss out of these fucking people the first cent they get of them. They know it too. That's why they rocked up at 3:30 a.m. There's actually an anti-racism action and show of solidarity that's been organised for this coming Saturday, 11 a.m. at Northland. Head along, meet some friendly faces who don't like these maggots on their streets any more than you do. Cheers everyone, thanks for your support as always.